Dr. Hugh Len's teacher, Kahuna Lapa'au, Mona Nalamaku Simeona, who was acknowledged as a living treasure of Hawaii in 1983, a year after Dr. Hugh Len joined the foundation of R Inc., introduced Dr. Hugh Len to the ancient Hawaiian healing method of Hooponopono. Mona Simeona's version of Hooponopono is called self-identity through Hooponopono, and this form of Hooponopono has some basic themes. The number one basic theme is that we are 100% responsible for whatever we experience. So whatever we see and whatever we feel, the source of that comes from within. And more specifically, it is memories replaying in our subconscious minds that are responsible for all the problems we experience. The second theme is that peace begins with me. So the way to achieve peace is to do this Hooponopono, and Mona indicated that the Hooponopono has 3 ingredients already embedded in it. The 3 ingredients are, number 1, repentance. I'm sorry for whatever's going on in me that I experience this problem. Number 2, forgiveness. And please forgive me. Here we are talking directly to the source in us that can do this. And finally, number 3, transmutation. This is the third ingredient in which the source, the Omaka in us, takes a memory and transmutes it and moves it into pure energy or pure light and removes it. And once that energy is removed, we are back to zero, we are back to clarity, and we are back to freedom, which is our origin. In 1983, a friend of Dr. Hugh Len's, who was the Director of Psychological Services at Hawaii State Hospital, was looking for someone to work in their high-security unit called CISU-1. This unit had high fences with barbed wire on the top, and in order to get into the unit, one would have to get through a couple of security doors, and there were many security televisions all around. Dr. Hugh Len's friend was looking for somebody to be the psychologist in this unit, and before Dr. Hugh Len filled this position, numerous psychologists had come, but had soon left. Dr. Hugh Len told her that if she would give him the names of the patients, then he would be able to do the process called self-identity through Hooponopono without needing to be there. But this was not possible because of the confidentialities of the patients in this unit. So eventually, Dr. Hugh Len agreed to join as the high-security unit psychologist. When Dr. Hugh Len arrived at the unit for the first time, he found that all the seclusion rooms were filled with male patients who had histories of violent behavior. The other thing he found was that several people were shackled at the wrists and ankles because they were violent enough that they would attack other patients. Dr. Hugh Len also noticed that no patients could leave the unit unless they were authorized to do so by psychiatrists, and they were always shackled, and that there were absolutely no family visits, and that there was a very high level of absenteeism amongst the unit staff. Dr. Hugh Len points out that this is typical of psychiatric units that house people that have killed, murdered and raped. So when he came to the unit in early 1984, he was not surprised that this was what he found. So Dr. Hugh Len did this process of self-identity through Hooponopono by saying to the divinity in him, "Please forgive me for whatever is going on in me that I perceive the unit to be the way it is. I would like to make amends." Dr. Hugh Len knew that something was going on in him which was causing him to perceive the unit the way that it was. In all the Hooponopono processes is embedded, "I'm sorry, please forgive me," and transmutation. So Dr. Hugh Len did this Hooponopono process before he showed up for work in the morning, while he was there, and after he left for the day. Dr. Hugh Len cleaned on the names of the patients and the address of where the unit was located. And actually, later on he found out that the ward was previously a tuberculous ward. And so there were many strange things going on, like toilets flushing without anyone on them, and showers going on without anyone in them. But Dr. Hugh Len simply worked on what was going on in him, and he did this for 3 straight years without taking anyone into counseling. Dr. Hugh Len stresses that the people who worked in this unit were wonderful, caring people, but they were trained like he was trained to help other people. But from his own 40 years of experience, Dr. Hugh Len knew that this doesn't work. So as he began to work on himself, seclusion rooms began to shut down, the use of restraints became a thing of the past, outdoor recreational programs where patients began playing tennis and jogging were all going on, and patients actually started doing their own rehabilitation. And Dr. Hugh Len points out that he didn't even intend for any of this to happen. Dr. Hugh Len says that he only worked on himself and that he doesn't know how the divinity did all of this, but by the time he left, this was a consequence of him working on himself. Dr. Hugh Len points out that there is enough scientific evidence to show that we don't see people the way they actually are, but we see our own reaction to them. 2 of the simplest Hooponopono processes are thank you and I love you. So basically when I say I love you, already in that I love you are the 3 ingredients, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and transmutation. And as I say I love you to my memories, they become freed up. And when they are freed up, I am free. I'm free to be in rhythm and to be invisible so that I
Thank you,
don't get
dear
in my way
memories.
or anybody else's way. Dr. Hewland says that before he ever does anything,
dear
he's
memories.
always cleaning because he always wants to come in peace. Hooponopono teaches that there is a part of us, the subconscious mind, called the child, who feels unloved and uncared for, and that the mother part, the
I am
conscious
the I.
mind, is the part of us that thinks it knows, but that we don't know that we don't know. A big part of Hooponopono is that peace begins
Hot
with me.
chocolate.
So if we become peaceful, the people around us will heal naturally. Dr. Hewland says that his whole life is
Blue
committed to reducing the
soda
memories in
water.
his subconscious mind, and that this is a 24-hour, moment-by-moment job. Dr. Hewland points out
Dewdrop.
that the majority of doctors and teachers are totally burnt out after 6 years in the helping other people business.
How
Because what happens is that if we go to work on somebody, we are actually taking on all their family, relatives, and ancestors. And if we don't do this
Ice
correctly,
blue.
that is, we don't come clean, then we are going to get burnt. And this is called burnout. Hooponopono teaches that
I
all we
love
need
you,
to do
dear
is focus
memories.
on clearing our own stuff so that we can see clearly and we can get clear and see through the eyes of the divine and not through the eyes of
peace of
memory.
eye.
Hooponopono is about letting go and letting God, and teaches that we should not be too interested in the intellect as opposed to
Pencil.
speaking to the source in us that knows everything. So that is what Dr. Hewland was doing. He was doing this process of self-identity through
Thank you, dear
Hooponopono
memories.
to make sure that he would come clean and be clear. And because he was clear, the patients around him too got clear and soon healed. And so the clearer we can all
I
get,
am
the
the
clearer the people around us will get too. And this is the greatest service we can do for people, to
I
be
am the
clear
I.
and take 100% responsibility. Because whatever comes of us comes of other people too.
I am the I.